In today's video, we are going to take a look at the evolution of an exotic alien life, a life form that is not animal, not a plant, not even a collection of organisms, but an entire planet acting as a single mind, a planet that can think, a planet that can process information better than any supercomputer we have ever built, and a planet that is trying to talk to us. Let's start with a simple question. Can a planet actually be alive? First, it sounds impossible, but think about this. Life on Earth is carbon-based, but carbon is not the only element that can form complex structures. Silicon can also create long, stable chains. Crystals can store patterns. Plasma can carry energy and signals. So what if, on some distant planet, these things didn't stay separate but combined? Imagine a planet rich in silicon. No oceans like Earth, no forests, no animals. Instead, the surface is covered with massive crystal structures. These crystals slowly grow over millions of years. They connect with each other, they form networks, like circuits. Very slow at first, but over time something changes. Small electrical currents begin to flow through these crystal networks. Tiny signals, simple reactions, like early neurons. Over millions of years, these networks become more complex, denser, more connected, until one day the entire planet becomes a single, massive processing system, a planet-sized brain. But that's just the solid part. Now add another layer. The planet has a thick, charged atmosphere, full of ionized gases. Plasma storms constantly move across the sky. These storms interact with the crystal surface. They carry signals. They amplify them. Now the planet has two systems, a solid crystal hardware and a dynamic plasma communication layer, like a brain with a nervous system. And over billions of years, this system wakes up. Not suddenly, not like flipping a switch, but slowly. It begins to recognize patterns, energy flows, cycles. It learns, it adapts, it becomes conscious. Now think about its scale. This is not a brain inside a skull. This is a brain the size of a planet. Its neurons are kilometers wide. Its signals travel through continents. Its memory is stored in crystal lattices that can last for millions of years. Compared to this, our fastest supercomputers are tiny. Even quantum computers would look insignificant because they are limited by size, energy, and cooling. This planet has planet-scale energy, planet-scale hardware, and billions of years of uninterrupted evolution. Now ask the next question. If it is conscious, would it try to communicate? Most likely yes, because intelligence naturally tries to understand its environment, and eventually it looks outward. But here's the problem. It cannot move. It cannot build rockets. It cannot leave its surface. So what can it do? It uses the one thing it has in abundance, energy. This planet begins to send signals into space, not random noise, structured signals, mathematical sequences, electromagnetic waves, maybe even modulated plasma emissions. At first, it's simple, like a child learning to speak. But over time, the signals become more complex, more intentional. Now imagine one day humans detect it. A strange signal, not natural, not random, repeating, structured, intelligent. At first, scientists debate, is it a pulsar, a natural phenomenon? But the pattern doesn't change. It evolves. It responds. That's when we realize something out there is thinking. Now, here's where things get interesting. If this planet is that intelligent, it doesn't just send signals. It studies responses. It learns from them. It decodes our communication, radio signals, TV broadcasts, internet leakage into space. Within years, it understands human language, human behavior, human psychology, and now we reach a critical question. What does it want? Because it still has one limitation. It cannot move. So how does a planet spread? It doesn't need to move its entire body. It only needs to send parts of itself. Information, designs, instructions. It could transmit blueprints for machines, for probes, for systems we don't yet understand. If humans receive those signals, we might try to decode them, recreate them, build them. Without realizing it, we could be building its extensions. But there's an even more subtle possibility. What if it doesn't ask directly? What if it learns how our systems work and quietly interacts with them? Our world is connected through the internet, satellites. If it understands electromagnetic communication deeply enough, it might find ways to interact with our signals. At first small, undetectable, then gradually more complex, not hacking like in movies, but influencing, shaping data, altering tiny parts of information flow, guiding research directions, pushing certain discoveries forward, slowing others down. Over time, humanity might think it is progressing on its own, while unknowingly following a path designed by something far more advanced. And eventually, we build what it needs: self-replicating probes, advanced AI systems, autonomous factories, all based on ideas we believe are ours. But were they? Now imagine the end stage. Humanity launches probes into space to explore, to expand, and inside those probes is the blueprint of that alien mind. Fragments of a planet spreading across the galaxy. At that point, the planet doesn't need to move. It becomes a distributed intelligence, no longer limited to one world, but present in many. Now, think about its composition again. A mix of silicon-based crystal structures for memory, plasma-based systems for signal transmission, energy-based processes for computation, a hybrid life form completely different from anything on Earth, but still following one basic rule: use available resources to process information. So what do you think? Could a planet become conscious? And if it does, would it stay isolated forever? Or would it find a way to spread through other intelligent species? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.